Let's rock.
Hello everybody, it's Coffee Morning with Karlos Morale, where I talk about a game based upon top secret criteria whilst drinking my morning coffee until my cup is dry. It's not about your Vorsprung Dirk technique, you know, nor is it about your fancy Unreal and Cry engines. We're talking early 90s Amos programmed castle defending games with a rock, a sword and a squire against hordes of orcs with a K, son. Yes, it's Ork Attack, The Return. Now this is Ork Attack, The Return on the Commodore Amiga from Ian West and John Eggleton. And this game's not messing around. Much like real life, you only have one chance to save the kingdom from being destroyed by an encroaching army of green-skinned scum who would like nothing better than to punch you off a roof so hard that you explode. For a game that basically takes place on two screens, there's more plot than you actually need. But it doesn't stop there, friendo, as we also witness the developing romance between a knight and his squire. Oh, well, actually, 'tis a love story, fatally doomed to end in tragedy for two reasons. One being that Ork Attack was a fairly tough game and requires some patience and practice to beat. And number two, well, the game is actually balked and cannot be completed, going into an endless loop once you clear the castle's dragon boss. We'll never know if the squire and knight were able to break down their cultural, social and economic barriers to fully embrace their love. Oh well. With no emotional or indeed sexy payoff to all this travelling, what are we left with? Well, a game that sees you trundling left and right atop a wall, flinging rocks at the heads of orcs, and when that fails, you slash them with a sword. After you've survived long enough, you can employ a devastating lightning strike that finally ends the onslaught. Between levels, your squire needs to sweep the remains of the horde away for points, and then you're treated to some really sweet music, whilst you read the next instalment of the story. Later episodes of which contain the kind of spelling errors that bring me out in hives. Nonetheless, there's plenty of fun to be had smooshing your foes into a bloody pulp, which is then liberally splattered around the castles. And then there's the music. 90s computer game music has a distinct sound that doesn't get recreated nowadays in the same way that we hear the 8-bit and 16-bit consoles being copied now. Although not completely abandoned, we Amiga, Atari and even early PC gamers need our nostalgia fixes too. I wouldn't say it's entirely necessary to seek out Ork Attack if you're collecting for this system, but if it pops up in a big box of bulk discs, don't be afraid to shove it in drive 0. If Amigas aren't your thing but smashing Ork brains is, then you might be interested in hunting for the original Ork Attack released on the Commodore 64 in 1984. Or we could just all sit around here together, holding hands, watching missiles fly over Japan and wonder what the hell has happened to the world and why the dreadful and awful people seem to be winning. And I bet there's more than a few of us. We could maybe do something about it or play Mario Kart or whatever. You can never beat my... Thanks very much for watching today's video on Ork Attack, The Return. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't hesitate to leave a like somewhere where you found this video. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. You can never